Hi, this is Roxy Rose, and I'm here making another video. I made one earlier this morning, and it was called Transsexual Makeup Tips. But really, this is part 2 of the same video. I wasn't able to fit everything in on the first video, so this is makeup tips for the transsexual part 2. So if you haven't seen it, go back and see part 1, and then see this one. This is not an instructional video, it's not a how-to video, because those are just completely impossible. Every person has different characteristics of their faces, they have different hairstyles, they have different complexions, and the combinations are just tremendous. So it is really impossible to come up with just one how-to video, just really impossible. So you have to do your homework. You have to figure out what's right for you and what you need to do for your makeup. And I explained that all in part 1. But like I said, there was a few things that I left out for part 2. But as I said, I had gone up to the Macy's and the Sephora makeup counter and got a complete makeover. And they are up against the same thing. You know, they're taught how to put makeup on the typical woman. Well, us trans women, we're not typical women. And thank goodness, because I don't really care to be typical anyways. But we're not typical women, but that's all they're instructed on how to apply makeup to. So on the occasion that I went to the makeup counter, they thought they'd have no problem. They said, "Sure, Roxy, just sit up here. We'll take care of you." And they took their time and they worked their magic. And then they spin you around in the chair and hand you that mirror and they say, "What do you think?" And they're all smiles. And I looked at it and I thought, oh my God, put my old makeup back on. Because they just didn't know what they were doing. You know, they just aren't experienced with transgender people, and certainly they don't know our concerns, you know, about our facial structure. I'm not going to go into that. I did in part 1. But, so there's a lot of products out there, though, that I wanted to mention that I wasn't able to mention earlier. One is a good moisturizer, really. I'm a bargain hunter to the core. I love thrift stores. I love the dollar store. And by the way, keep your eye out at the dollar stores. Sometimes they get some really good makeup products for $1. You know, there's some sort of clearance or something like that. I've gotten some really good bargains there. But moisturizer, face moisturizer. You know, the terrible thing with us trans women is we have to sometimes take a razor to our face. And that does horrible damage to your complexion and to your skin. And you really need to replenish its moisture with a good moisturizer. That's the one thing. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going out and buying a $100 moisturizer, and there's plenty of them out there for that price. But I'll usually go to some place like Marshall's, you know, and I'll get a good moisturizer that's normally $20 or $30, and sometimes I can get it for around $8 or $10. And there's certain brands that I like, but you could pick out your own. But some are really, really good around that price range, and I really go that route because I think moisturizing cream is really important. I also want to say one thing, and I'm not hip on self-dosing or getting drugs without a prescription, but Retin-A cream. It is available overseas, mail order, and there's a lot of pharmacies that will send it to you without a prescription. Now, Retin-A cream, there's a lot of facial creams out there, or, you know, age-defying cream, or anti-wrinkle cream, and all that sort of stuff. And they have a retinol product in there, but it's not as strong as Retin-A, and there's different dosages that you can get. Now, with Retin-A cream, you know, if you use too much of it, or if your skin is sensitive, yes, you can cause redness, and you can cause peeling, and you can cause, you know, certain things. But just be careful. I normally don't recommend without a prescription, but in this situation, I kind of think it's just the pharmacies are just want to tack on a little extra money by making you get a prescription and going through the proper channels. But you could save yourself a whole bunch of money by getting it through these pharmacies. And it does work, and that's part of being feminine, and looking feminine is, you know, looking younger and taking care of yourself that way. So anyways, getting back to makeup. Sorry, I'm running out of time here. I got to rush. Let's see. A good moisturizer, really, really important. And then a primer. I like Makeup Forever, which is available at Sephora. It's a good primer. It's kind of expensive, but it's good. This one's a tinted primer. It's actually blue, so it's made to cover some redness, which can be caused by taking a razor to your face. I've also used this one. This is L'Oreal Studio Secrets. It's tinted, and it's a pink tint. Now with the Makeup Forever, they have a blue, a lavender, a pink, and I think they have a yellow and a green, I think. But they have several different colors. And with the L'Oreal Studio Secrets, they have the pink, and they have an orangier pinkish color, and then they have a green. And each one is made to conceal certain types of blemishes. You know, sometimes people's skin actually has a blue tint to it, you know, from razor stubble, and then sometimes us trans women get a red patchy look from razor use. And there's a multitude of different problems that we encounter, and there's different primers, and you're going to have to try them. You know, Walmart will take your makeup back if you weren't satisfied, and some of these other makeup counters will do that too. You're going to have to try a couple different colors and a couple different application techniques. You know, you could read the instructions, but you're a trans woman. There are no instructions for us trans ladies. So that's something you're going to have to contend with. Now, depending on how far along you are in your stage of transition, depending on how much or if you have facial hair, there's different foundations. Plenty of different foundations, and most of them are made for women. Women have smaller pores. Most of the time they don't have the severe wrinkles that we have. So they have it a bit easier sometimes, doggone it. But, you know, okay, there's a Dermablend. This is a paste type foundation. That's hardcore. That's when you really have to cover something up. And I have this for a reason, because every now and then I might have to use it for maybe not a blemish, or I might have to use it for some issue that I'm having at the time. And it will cover stubble. Like I said, Dermablend, that's available at Macy's, but not, some of the smaller Macy's don't carry it behind the makeup counter. Most of the time, though, I like Makeup Forever at Sephora. My daughter always went to Sephora, and I always kind of turned my nose up at it, but they're pretty good. I like Makeup Forever. Here's something, though, that you have to realize, that depending on what stage of transition you're in. Now, us women, all women in general, usually have to get a shade or two sometimes of foundation darker in the summer months, because, you know, you go outside and you get a little tan. So in the summer months, you're going to be using a little bit darker foundation. So don't run out there and get, you know, 6 bottles of $30 foundation, because you might not use it all very quickly, because you have to use different colors sometimes. And another thing, this isn't going to be told to you in Sephora or at the Macy's makeup counter. You just now transitioned. Well, if you are just now transitioning, chances are before this, you never wore any makeup outside. And chances are you never wore any sunblock. Well, now all of a sudden you're wearing foundation, which most foundation has built-in sunblock in it. And then hopefully you're using a sunblock when you go outside underneath your foundation anyways. So now you've had the skin for 30 or 40 years that you've just let get sun-baked by the sun, but now you're transitioning. Your complexion's going to get a lot lighter now. So don't run out and get set on one foundation. Be prepared, because you're going to, if you're just transitioning, you're going to start out with a dark color, and then each month or two you're going to need a lighter color, because your complexion's going to start getting lighter. Yay! And hopefully, you know, you're taking care of your skin, your wrinkles are going to start going away, you know, really do take care of your skin. So there's a lot of products out there, but I can't make an instructional video because you have to decide what's best for you and your complexion and your style, etc. Another thing I want to mention is a finishing powder. If you're like me and you have some issues as far as structure goes, brow bossing, forehead, and, all those things that us trans women have to contend with, a good finishing powder not only sets your foundation and makeup, but it also take that shine off your face or forehead or nose. And it's really important, girls. Don't let that shine ruin your night or your day, because that shine could just show up in the very wrong places. And lastly, I want to mention there is a little trick. I use it. I can't help but using it. But you could use it in different ways than I use it. But it's the old magician trick, look over here while I pick your pocket over here. And that's kind of what these do, look down there, not up here. But there's other things to do, though. If you are a trans woman that's dealing with some brow bossing or long forehead or something like that, and if you're thinking to yourself, well, you just have to live with that. But if you have yourself a pair of beautiful lips, well, make those lips up and keep those glossy and pouty and beautiful, put some liner on and make them the most beautiful thing. And what that does is that detracts, if you're dealing with brow bossing, people will focus on your lips and, use the right color. Just because you're feeling a little bit bad about your appearance doesn't mean that you have to go with like a monotone and nothing really extravagant. Emphasize those really good qualities that you have, and you have them, I'm sure. And the same, if you have some good looking eyes, then let's draw attention to those eyes, make them up really wonderful. And then it'll take away it'll distract from the other aspects of your face or facial structure. So it's just a little trick. Marilyn Monroe, who loves Marilyn Monroe? We all do, right? She was beautiful, and her lips in particular were just gorgeous. Well, she always had that little birthmark there that she always liked to emphasize. There was a reason for that. It was that little birthmark was saying, hey, look down here, and I want you to look at my lips. Now, you might not want to put a little birthmark, but what I'm saying is accentuate the positive things that you have going on, and it will distract people from other things. So keep that in mind, Anyways, this is another section of transitioning late in life. I'm sorry it can't be any more informative than this, but this is Transsexual Makeup Tips Part 2. I hope it's been a little bit helpful, but you really have to do the work. That's the most important thing. Do the work, and you'll be happy. It'll all come together, and after a while you'll get the hang of it. So be patient with yourself, love yourself, and have a great life. This is Roxy Rose, and I'll see you on another video clip. Bye-bye.